Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Well, tonight we want to talk about rejection. Although the word itself is not an appropriate word to focus on, however, everybody understands what it means. And I'm going to be talking about this topic from the point of view of men. So you can switch it around to whatever it is that it's suitable to your relationship. You see, most men feel very hurt or concerned when the relationship that they were in or started ends by way of the other person's choice, by way of the girlfriend's choice. And that bothers them because their concept of rejection, the interpretation of rejection, extends far beyond what it is, and it's got a historical roots that we're going to examine it together. Most men think when their girlfriend doesn't want to continue the relationship, or their candidate to be girlfriend doesn't want to continue the relationship, is because there is something of lesser value about them compared to her values. But lo and behold, that when two people actually become interested in each other, they become interested in each other without knowing anything about each other's consciousness, which means they have developed and happen to share chemistry. So they like each other without knowing anything about the content of their consciousness, how they grow up, and how their values may or may not be compatible. But one thing is for sure, that they did like each other, they did have chemistry, and they exchanged emotional values, and that is why they started discussing or getting to know each other or discussing any possibilities of further relationship. However, to the man in the relationship, it is more important than it may seem to be to the woman. Although from their point of view, the women are also very concerned about such feelings, and they also get hurt as bad as the boys. But from point of view of men think of women not just in one dimension, they think of women in several different dimensions. One would be the fact that men need companion. They thrive on companionship with a woman, intimacy with a woman, interaction with the energy of the woman. They need that feminine energy coming towards them to feel very masculine and very satisfied. And they also consider women as a nutritional value for their survival. That's how important women are to men. You see, in the old times, in the caveman times, so to speak, when we were not endowed with this kind of brain that we have now, which was only developed 40,000 years ago, before that we were living on instinctive mode, like animals. We would run, hunt, sleep, eat, have sex, and there was no other issues other than having chemistry with the female, and that would be enough for them to be together and to mate. But once we were given this so-called developed mind, developed brain, then ability to thinking and ability to speaking showed up, which these thinking created certain kind of rituals and customs and other habits that we had in our own clan, and the values started building in our minds, in different people, different values. And that is why the content of the consciousness of people being different creates conflicts and division once they get to know each other. And it's going to nullify the very basic reason for them to like each other. The energy exchange, the chemistry they have, and everything else, the emotional exchange that they've done. And these thinking and values, the contents of the consciousness, and the speaking and the words meaning, all these now come and interfere and cause the two separate, either immediately or after a while being together. But before we were given this sophisticated brain, so to speak, which in many ways is very helpful, but it's a curse to have such a sophisticated brain for the reasons that I just mentioned. We had no problems in getting along with the females, and the female had no problems in accepting the men, because it was all based on instinctive mode, needs for intimacy, chemistry, and exchange of energy. It was pure like or love or emotions involved, rather than any interference with thoughts or different values, upbringings, or content of the consciousness. Now, why men get really offended, or rather affected, more than women in a limited or a discontinued relationship, a breakup, is because men consider women just as important as water or food is to them. They need food for sustenance, for nutritional values, for survival, for balance. All the food and the water that we use is for creating all the things that we need from within. The neurotransmitters, the blood circulations, all the qualities and whatever that we need to have it function properly. We also think of women as one of the most necessary elements for our survival. So when we are about to meet a woman or we are in a relationship with a woman, it is more important than just being attracted or wanting a company. In addition to all that, what we need, the companionship and discussions and exchange and all that, we think of women as a balancing chemistry or a balancing entity which makes us feel whole with all the neurotransmitters working properly, the oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, all that and more functions properly in balance with us and we feel great. And when it doesn't work or when somehow something severs it, we feel that our survival is in danger, as if the food is being taken away. That has the same feeling as in the past, in the history, when men would go for hunting to get food and bring it for themselves or the family. If the hunt almost escapes or actually escapes, they would feel very anxious because they felt their survival is in danger. They're still carrying the same feelings about when they are in a relationship with a woman, and when a woman discontinues the relationship, breaks up and leaves, and that relationship severs, they feel like the nutritional value, what is necessary for their survival, just disappeared. Like the hunt disappeared and now they have to look for food. And women relationship for us is just as important as air, water, and food. So don't take it personally and realize that you're not on a desert, you are in an ocean, and there are so many fish around. If one fish finds you not interesting for what reason or another, because of the content of the consciousness, because naturally you had chemistry together, and that's a compliment to you that you already were liked by the girl, and the girl liked you, you liked the girl, so the chemistry and the energy was resonating on the same level. But when the thoughts and values and content of the consciousness comes into the picture, for one reason or another, one may decide to discontinue it. So don't think it's personal, it's just about different resonance of values, and that's all the reason for you. It's just one fish, and there's so many other fish around that you can resonate on the same value and find chemistry again. So no reason to be so anxious or bothered by rejection. It's not as big as you think it is. It's just that you're carrying that gene and that way of thinking from the caveman time, and you need to recognize it's not as important as it may sound to be these days and age. I'll talk to you soon.